it's Jay, and I'm back with another video. Today it's going to be a short one. I'm just going to share this kitchen build with you. I've been kind of seeing a lot of kitchen aesthetic pictures on Instagram lately, and I thought, why not try to recreate one of those? I'm going to share the inspiration picture with you at the end of the video to kind of show you what I had as like a reference. Now, at first I thought there was like a little bump out in the room. It turns out I didn't look correctly, and I kind of had to push it back to adjust. And also the color scheme is a little bit different, also because we're kind of restricted with the fact that some of the counters don't have cabinets that are like corresponding. One of those is obviously the perfect patio one, which also kind of makes sense because they're supposed to be on like a patio and you wouldn't necessarily have cabinets with that. But I used some of the base game ones that I think ended up fitting pretty nicely, and I think it looks okay. And I think if I check with the reference picture, they're not 100% matchy-matchy like the cabinets and the counters. Now, the general color scheme is black and white, obviously. The color scheme of the original kitchen is more of like a white gray. I ended up putting some what do you call that? I think it's like a petrol color. Is that the right way to pronounce it? Like a dark teal color, mosaic kind of tiling on one of the walls as kind of like an accent wall, because there's a lot of whites, grays, and blacks in this build. So to kind of add an additional kind of pop of color, I put that up on the farthest wall back. It's basically the same tiling as the one on the other side that is like this light gray, as you just saw. So I didn't necessarily build with having a certain amount of packs in mind, but I also was like, I'm not going to go overboard on certain things. So it turned out that I ended up using about 6 or 7 packs, and I then at the end checked for those packs and the items that I used in those packs. Like that little cupcake stand thing is from Get Together, and that was I think it's from Get Together, and it was the only item from that pack that I used, so I ended up deleting that and substituting that with another item. I think it's the cookbooks from Cool Kitchen Stuff at the end. Same goes with the lamps, which are Tiny Living. And they also ended up being the only item from Tiny Living that I used, and so I substituted those later on as well. At this point, I just chuck all of the decorative items that I think could fit into this kitchen into the kitchen, because if you look at the reference picture later, there's not much decoration going on in that kitchen, because it's a very modern kitchen. Modern kitchens usually don't have too many knickknacks and clutter around, especially if they're like staged. So I added a little bit of clutter, but not too much, because I also didn't want to take away from like the modern sleek look that it has. So I did a couple of adjustments. I added and took away some of the clutter items. Also the bowl with the lemons I took out, because that is, I think, backyard stuff, and that was also the only item from backyard stuff that I ended up using. Now, I had a bit of that is so random, by the way. I had a bit of a mini family emergency while building this. So the very first clip of me building this ends about here when I put the shelf up, and then there's just nothing, just no movement for like 3 hours. And then I came back to my PC and I saw that I had been recording this whole time. So I got about like 3 hours of footage out, and then it picks back up right here. There you go. Where I came back and just adjusted the things at the end. Where I kind of tried to have like a 360 look at everything. I think I also just the trash can. And then I upload the room into my own library to check which items from which packs I used. So I checked and I saw that the bowl and the lamps weren't necessary. So I substituted those things. And I think that's a very, very cool thing that we get to do that. It's a little tedious of a process, but you end up being able to check what is necessary, what is probably not so necessary, what can be substituted. And so you end up with less packs. And for me personally, if it's just one room, it's very easy to restrict yourself to a small number of packs. So it's only 4 packs in the end. You're going to see them in a bit. This was the original one with 4 or 6, and those are the ones that I ended up with. So university, spa day, cool kitchen, and patio. And yeah, that was basically it already. I'm going to put in the reference picture in the end. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.